Well, the knives are out for Jodi Mackay, the New South Wales Labor leader, and for Michael O'Brien, the Victorian Liberal leader. I'll come to him in a moment. Can we have none of this nonsense in New South Wales that it's because Mackay's a woman? So too is Gladys Berejiklian. This is about performance. And simply, while I'm sure she's given her best is not good enough. And her own Labor Party are leaking against her. An ALP pollster, Redbridge, has leaked a poll to the media showing that following the slaughter of the Liberal Party in WA, which in two elections, 2017 and now 2021, has recorded, can you believe it, a swing of 33%, 16% against them at the last election in 2017 and 16.9% on Saturday night. The Liberals look like winning only 3 seats. They went to the election in WA in 2017 holding 31. The National Party will win 4 from Saturday, and that's it. That's the opposition. In the 59-seat parliament, McGowan's Labor will have 52 seats with a primary vote of 59.1%. By the way, that's called democracy. How you can get 59% of the vote and 88% of the seats, I'm not too sure. But consider this. The seats held by the Liberal Party's last 3 leaders not only fell to Labor, Kirkup, a swing against the current leader, or was, a swing against him of 25.2%, Lisa Harvey and Scarborough, blue ribbon stuff, a swing of 21.2%, and Mike Nairn, a swing against him of 16.1%. As one wag has said, not only could the Liberals not save the furniture, but the carpet, the blinds, the windows, the roof and the walls of the Liberal Party have all gone. What is even more astonishing is that what seemed impossible, Labor have smashed them in the upper house, where it looks as though they have won 8 seats and will hold 22 of the 36 seats. One Nation held 3, they have none. The Greens held 4, this is in the upper house, they'll get 1. And believe it or not, the legalised cannabis party have won 2 seats. In fact, the Liberals didn't come close to winning any of the 6 mining and pastoral seats. They were beaten into 7th place by the Daylight Saving Party. It's the Liberals. On election eve, news polls showed that 34% of Liberal voters in WA planned to vote Labor, and the obliteration on Saturday bore that out. The new opposition leader will be in the National Party, 43-year-old Mia Davies, who transferred from the upper house to the lower house in 2013. It's impossible to know how an opposition with 7 seats in the lower house have any hope of monitoring what the McGowan government might do with 52 seats out of 59. A swing against the Liberal Party of over 33%, I repeat, in 2 elections. And blue ribbon Liberal seats, which never before have come within a whiff of Labor, are now entrenched Labor. The scenario in New South Wales is threatening the same fate for the Labor Party. According to this leaked poll, the Labor vote in New South Wales has dropped 8.4% since the 2019 election. The primary vote is at 23.9%, the lowest recorded by New South Wales Labor since 1904. Everyone knows the answer. They chose the wrong person as leader. They had a chance to choose the member for Cogra, Chris Minns. They had better get a wriggle on in New South Wales or the fate of the WA Liberal Party awaits them. There are a couple of rules in politics. One of them is, when you don't think it can get worse, it sure as hell can. Ask the Liberals in WA whether you can do worse than 23.9%. They're sitting on 21.3% and they're shaking their heads. The 34-year-old Kirkup only lasted a couple of weeks as leader in WA. He buried himself with Matt Keane energy policies and, as I said, a swing against him of 25.2%. You better take note, Matt Keane. The difference is Kirkup at least handled his defeat with significant dignity. Keane parades his diabolical energy policies with arrogance. New South Wales Labor can't ignore what's happened to the Liberals in WA. There must be change in New South Wales to the Labor leadership, and there will be. Federally, it's no use thinking otherwise. Scott Morrison had his hands more than full. Playing the coronavirus card won't be enough. But if he stands up to the left and their rubbish on energy, education and self-imposed debt, he can play a winning hand. To Victoria, let me say this. There are suggestions that Brad Batten, a 46-year-old former police officer who owned a bakery in Wheelers Hill, will move a spill motion tomorrow. That is, all leadership positions vacant. It may or may not happen. But Michael O'Brien, the Liberal leader, is heading for the same exit door as Jodi Mackay. The thought that the former Liberal leader, Matthew Guy, could be reinstated is farcical. He took his party to a landslide defeat in 2018 an 11% swing and lost 11 seats. I'll tell you what should happen. There is a fellow called Gary Blackwood. He holds the seat of Narracan, centring on Warragul, Moe and smaller towns in the northwest Gippsland. He's been there 15 years, and no disrespect to him, but no one's heard of him. If he's a true blue Liberal, why not resign the seat? And the Victorian administration invite Peter Credlin, unopposed, to be the candidate and pitchfork her straight into the leadership. You'd have a real contest. She'd eat Daniel Andrews alive. It's not a question of whether Peter Credlin would be interested. It's a question of whether the Liberal Party are fair dinkum. Now, as you know, Peter Credlin and I are close friends. I have not discussed this with her. The Liberal Party can make the next move. What do you think? Email me. Alan, I know what you think. alan@skynews.com.au. The text line 0414 000 848. And don't forget, you can listen live on the iHeart Radio app.